Hey everybody, this is Nicholas with Tabletop Shenanigans.
And this is Matthew Essington.
This is Felipe.
And Alex.
And today we have a special guest. Will Brown, our Eldar, Drukhari, whatever, heresy, heretical order.
Pointy-eared guy.
And today we have a few things to talk about. Well, first, Will, do you want to introduce yourself?
How's it going, guys? I'm Will. I have a lot of elves.
In fact, that's all he plays. Is elves, and more elves.
Even in Magic.
Magic the Gathering. Anyways, today we're going to talk about a few things. First, I want to talk about the new Adeptus Mechanicus Archaeothopter.
Oh my goodness, the ugliest looking thing I've ever seen
Baited
before
us.
on the table.
He said he knew what he was going to talk about. We're like, all right, it's okay.
Somebody-
And now he baited us.
I didn't know what it was, but he said we weren't going to decide what we were talking about because he's going to throw it out there. And
What
then
a
he wants to
bait.
talk about
What a bait.
the paper craft flyer.
I didn't want to say it, but I knew it.
I love it how GW has no idea what the aesthetics of like Adeptus Mechanicus is. Like their
What are you talking about?
transport looks like a World War II thing. Their plane looks like a steampunk thrown up version. Like there is no consistency
The
in
Wright
their
brothers.
aesthetics.
Let's not talk about the Cybermen going on with the
Well,
robots.
hold on. I think you're all just angry. All your armies look very bland. And I have 50s robots. I've got hover jets. I've got all these cool toys.
Dune crawlers that look like walking crabs.
I'll just be over here with Jabba the Hutt.
Right? Honestly, but listen.
It's a lot of talk within charge distance.
Can we just appreciate this new toy for Adeptus Mechanicus?
I feel like it should be toughness 4.
I think you're
sounds
wrong.
about right.
The whole front end is just a big glass plate. It's like anybody with a bolt pistol or a laser weapon is just instant kill the pilot.
Well,
And then it's got wings of paper.
I was gonna say, just
Yeah.
shoot at the wings.
Literally.
boom. Gone.
But did you guys not see the up close pictures of the thing?
It's got
No, it was
freaking like
hurting my
little legs.
eyes.
It looks like a pterodactyl. It's got little legs in the back for landing gear that retract in.
I make players.
I'll be honest, it looks more like one of those like observation planes where it's like, oh, if it's near like 12 inches of a model, you get +1 to hit it. And I'm
I
like, oh,
think-
that's kind of cool.
I think
And
at
then-
GW offices they just had a kid or bring your kid to work day, and then they were like, "Hey guys, draw us a plane," and then the best kid like, "Look at this," and they're like, good enough.
I make players. Don't let their hazing deter you.
No,
do what is right.
even better,
Play
you meant
for
to
the
make it
Omnissiah. Buy 3 of these planes because I am.
No, it's even better because it was like colored as Necrons, and they're like AdMech, and then everyone's like, what?
The kid doesn't even know what Necrons or AdMech is.
Yeah,
He's just-
GW don't like Necrons though. So
What's
Hey,
Necron?
Necron's just got a whole bunch of love. Of love.
And what?
In chapter approved.
It's not
Oh,
real.
Yeah, they
Oh,
got
yeah.
some real good point drops. Necrons are about to hit the table running.
I mean, they're already pretty strong beforehand. No one just wanted to play them, but now they're even better.
Dude, we're talking about like big point drops on all the name characters, even their basic stuff like Lords, which were only like 55 points, got a 10-point drop, which is crazy. They have stuff like Lich Guard, which were super useful, got big point drops as well as Ghost Arcs. They went down 25 points. Pretty insane.
Yeah, just about every army got a sweet deal. Even Will, did you get some stuff?
You just had to mention it, didn't you? Yeah, let's just put our most used models all got points increases. So
What army is this, Will? What army?
that would be the Drukhari.
Sorry, the what?
Portugal.
The Drukhari.
What happened to them?
Portugal.
Points increase or?
What has
Yeah.
to do with code?
Yeah, so we got a points drop on every model that nobody wants to use. So, like, we got points drops on Mandrakes, on Hellions, on Reavers. All those, like, the Mandrakes are good models, but the Hellions and Reavers,
No.
I haven't seen those in a list, or I've personally put them in one of my lists in basically since I've been playing. And I don't think that the 1 or 2 points drop that they actually got is going to make any difference. But then they increased our Ravengers by 15 points, which,
You deserved it.
No.
no, I can understand the Razor Wing Jet Fighter getting raised because it was being used in the flyer spam of the Eldar flyer spam.
Ugh.
But at the same time, I don't think they were necessarily the biggest problem.
I think the whole points drop change serves two purposes. So one, Space Marines just became the dominant force, and they will be probably for a little while. And yes, they are.
No.
Space Marines, yes, they are.
They're good, but I don't think
They're very good.
I don't think that they're dominant.
Very good. But the other, so it's to bring the other armies up to par, or trying to get them up to par. And the other thing is to like make sales of like models that they never sell. Because I going through a lot of these things, I would have to actually Google. I was just like, what is that model? Because I was just like I had no idea what that was.
Like what?
Like some of the Tau stuff, I had no idea what that was.
Well, you don't even know what town stuff is.
Shut
You
up.
looked at a heli and you're like, I've never seen that used.
Exactly.
Goes to the next Drakari player. Are these good? Everyone looks at each other. Never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
Well, what's a
what?
Ravager?
What's a Ravager?
Why do you get points increased?
Because it's probably our best model so far.
Listen,
And like it's one of our only models, but it's still only T6, and it's our heavy, our super light or whatever if you want to call it.
it's just funny because all my stuff got points dropped. AdMech, I mean, I don't know.
So who were the biggest winners out of Chapter Approved?
Orcs came out pretty strong.
Oh, you
Why?
don't
Why?
understand. You
Why?
don't understand. What
Because
they did.
shoot us.
Shoot us.
Where's the
They heard our podcast.
Shenanigans.
You're welcome.
Fill up your orc shooting buckets.
Honestly, though, the AdMech got some pretty good points drops. Yes, I'm just ignoring everyone else's banter because I'm here for the AdMech and here for the AdMech only.
No.
Give Alex a little bit of spotlight. So Alex, tell us, because I know very little about
I just got
orcs.
vetoed.
Let Nick talk about his AdMech first, and I'll give him
fine,
I'll-
give him-
I'll give him.
Give the weird robots.
I'll give him
Are you
his
kidding
one
me?
time because he's insecure about it.
I'm just excited, just like everyone else, about their points drops, or in this case, the Jakari points increase.
They just brought me on to rag about rag.
Listen.
That's really why I'm
Listen,
here.
it's like this, all right. If you come on this show as a guest, you're probably getting ragged on.
Just a little bit, because you
Just a
don't
little
play
bit.
our armies.
Yeah, if you don't play good armies. Just,
What are you talking about? I play
Jakari's
Imperial
fun.
Knights.
Jakari's fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a good army, but all right.
Okay, Nick, talk about
So-
your stuff for.
So the Electro Priest minus 2 points. Cool, don't care, whatever. Infiltrators minus 3 points.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That means a squad of 5 went from 90 points to now 65.
Which is pretty insane.
Sorry, 75.
Which is, again, pretty insane. Infiltrators are awesome because they have that pistol 5 on a squad of 5 of them with obviously the infiltrate ability, and you can hit them with the Wrath of Mars.
And deal some serious mortal
Wound output
Yeah.
like crazy with
ridiculous.
those, and it's spot. I mean, you just throw them anywhere on the table, and if you have 10 of them, you throw out 50 shots, and on 4s, 5s, and 6s, you're putting out mortal wounds.
So on 6s to wound, you're putting out mortal wounds.
Okay, but you can increase that by adding to wound modifiers.
But there are no 2 wound modifiers for AdMech besides Rise's stratagems, which isn't Mars, which sucks, but that's okay.
Well, nobody likes Mars. So it's
Yeah.
Nobody
whoa,
likes
whoa,
Mars.
whoa. Whoa! But let me tell you
Someone
though,
had to say it.
their melee is also insane because they go in with taser goads, and for every 6+ to hit, you can deal 3 hits instead of 1.
You mean those little chicken things?
No, these are on the infiltrators.
Yeah, the walkers do have that ability too. They have taser goads as well, but they have taser lances or something like that.
Yeah.
These are smaller ones. These are like little cow products.
Still really good though. They're still really strong.
Yeah.
Shows how much I care about AdMech.
Yeah.
All right.
Yikes.
And then
Anything else that you want to add?
Yes, the Manipulist dropped 25 points, which is real relevant because he went from 90 points to 65, and that's just dumb because he basically gives me like 8 inches more on all my guns, which is cool. The Dominus dropped 10 points, and the Neutron Laser dropped 10 points. So now Dune Crawlers have once again become shining spotlight spots because they dropped from 110 points to 100 points, which makes them cheaper than the Scorpius tanks. But I think the Dune Crawlers are still pretty good. And the Dominus are now 80 points apiece, which means Rise Up Plasma Boys, it's for you.
Good lord. Alrighty, that's enough AdMech.
Yeah,
Maddie,
we're
you
done.
want to talk about your?
Let the robot
we're
keep
done with-
searching for his
yeah.
brain.
Yeah,
you
we're
want to
done.
talk about the Imperial Guard for a bit?
Well, there was a huge change
I
to
was
Imperial
gonna
Guard.
say.
The biggest change to Imperial Guard was simply this: mortars went up 4 points.
That's pretty
Which
bad though.
It hurts Imperial Guard.
That
so
has to
much.
hurt a lot.
Yeah, you go from your auto include for your brigade or whatever, your 3 heavy support minimum, which you bring just 3 squads of 3 mortars for a total of 33 points per squad, so 99 points, which is the easiest and cheapest auto include to fill up 3 heavy support slots. And now they're going up by 15 points per squad.
Oof.
So it's not just an auto include anymore. The same thing happened to Gene Stealer Cult. Theirs went up to 9 points per mortar as well, which are, I mean, indirect fire is really big, especially when you're talking about ITC, just having,
Being able to sit in that
Yeah.
corner of the
Yeah,
map and just
9
pelt everything.
96 for 100 points. You get 96 mortar rounds at indirect fire is pretty impressive. Now you're talking about having to sink an extra 45 points into your list just to get that to fit. It was a pretty significant change. There was some other really big changes to Imperial Guard, and that might hurt ITC. The Gatling Punisher cannons went up by 10 points.
Those are nasty though.
They are nasty, but now they're quite expensive.
Well, like Lehman Russes were pretty cheap on their own. So
Well, the Lehman Rust by itself went down 15 points. So
Yeah.
you're really only talking about a 5-point
5-point
change
increase, yeah.
for your Gatling
And
Punisher.
then, but then the
Drop by
mortars
that math.
also increased.
Yeah.
Good. That means for every 9 mortars and a usually 9 mortars, right?
I mean, I feel like it just kind of works out on its own. That
No, I mean, it's not like you're getting anything. I mean, I still think you're better off going with plasma tanks because then you get the 15-point drop, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Another big thing is that las cannons went down by 5 points as well, which
actually-
is really nice. They went down from
Why?
they went down from 20 to 15 points per las cannon.
Why?
Well, you throw them on the front of your tank commanders, and you get cheap
my
las cannons that hit on threes.
That's kind of. I don't know.
My
I don't understand
vehicles.
that. My Space Marines have 20-point.
I feel like they did it that way because Space Marines are hitting on threes across the table.
yeah.
You're talking about hitting on 4. You're talking there's a definite. You have the same weapon, but different consistency in its power.
But at the same time, whenever you have a las cannon in a guard list, the people who use them are inherently cheaper. So like a weapons team with las cannons is way cheaper than the Havoc group of las cannons or a Devastator squad with las cannons.
Yeah, but you get
With
the
different like stratagems that actually benefit from them way more. Because Space Marines don't have any good stratagems for like specifically las cannons or like heavy shooting, except for like certain armies.
I think the point value is about the same. What's the cost of a normal Marine?
I don't.
Like
A
11
normal Marine
points?
is 14, and then you add the 20 points to it.
Well,
So then it'd be.
I think Devastators are a point or two more expensive.
yeah, actually, I think
yeah.
they are a point or two more expensive.
either it's pretty close point value wise. Obviously, I mean you get a nicer body though. You have a 3-up armor save, 2-up in cover, and
Right, of
instead
course,
of a 5-up
of course.
armor save.
But you
And-
get to do orders though.
But the
and
thing is, you
such.
have orders. You have
True.
like the Cadia has really good things for just
Yeah, reroll
shooting people off
hits,
the board.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the generic multi-tool of the Warhammer universe.
But I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest changes too is Scions. Scions have always been good.
I love Scions.
They're amazing, and they just got a 2-point drop
That's
per
awesome.
model.
That's awesome.
So I think that tipped the scale from them being good to being great Imperial Guard.
So how
units.
much are they now?
They went from 9 points per model to 7 points
That's
per model.
So the 35 points for a squad of 5?
Yeah.
so good.
That's really good.
And you can put 2 special
shot-
weapons
Hot
per.
shot las guns on them.
Well, they all have hot shot
Yeah,
las
that's
guns,
like-
but you can add 2 special weapons per 5. So 2 plasma guns in there per 5.
That's pretty
or
good.
2 melta in there per
Scions are
5.
so cool.
Yeah. Do they
That-
do 3 damage?
No.
Then they're bad.
Rough.
My plasma guns do 3 damage.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
all your apocalyptic tanks basically went down in points.
Yeah,
Bane
so-
Blade, Bane Hammer, Bane Sword.
Yeah, some of the variants of the Bane Blade did go down. 3 of them, in fact, the Bane Sword, Hammer, and Blade all went down by 40 points, which is pretty cool. It's nice to just be able to fit. Plus, actually, it technically went down by a little bit more than that because if you start adding sponsons with las cannons, they're another 5 points off too. So technically, you could save up to like 60 points on a Bane Blade as opposed to where it was before.
What's
Well,
up with
all the night drops so far we've seen so far, like the Castellan dropping 50 points.
Armor goes dropping 15.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a prominence of night players again, which is great for the Bane Blades. That just means all the Bane Blades that people have on shelves can now come back out to play, because they're just why wouldn't they?
Okay, I do like the idea of someone pulling out a Baneblade in a guard list during an ITC, because I think that'd be kind of cool. I actually don't like seeing 9 Lehman Russes on the board. I think that's kind of dumb.
Whoa.
But that's personal though, because I
Shots
think
fired.
having 9 Lehman Russes is kind of
Literally.
boring. I kind of like the idea of someone pulling out a Baneblade and having like 3 or 4
I mean,
Lehman Russes.
lore-wise, it kind of makes sense.
It does, but like I just like the idea of having a Baneblade
Yeah.
on the
Are
Well,
we a
I
lore
think it's a
podcast
cool
now?
model.
I think it's
No, we are nowhere near a lore podcast.
Yeah, we a lore podcast now.
I'm just saying,
Get out that
No, I
heresy.
get it. I get it. Okay, I get it.
I think it's cool. Like if someone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull out a Castellan," and then I'm gonna pull out like 2 knights, and it's like, "Oh, they're guards," and I'm like, "That's kind of cool," but no one does that.
So, Maddie, what's up
So-
with the 10-point increase on Wyverns?
Oh, Wyverns are broken.
Oh,
That's
dude,
why.
super broken.
46 shots, and then on top of that, if they can
Oh,
reroll all their
it's-
failed wounds.
Yeah, reroll all failed wounds
Jeez.
naturally. Indirect fire, 46.
Alright,
Strength.
T7 no, T7 or T8?
T6.
It's
T6?
Yeah, T6 body, but it's what, strength 4 on the weapons?
Strength 4, 46, range 48. Target non-visible, reroll failed wound rolls for this weapon. Good
Yeah.
lord, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Plus, if you're playing as, anything,
Catechins,
doesn't
yeah.
matter what you're playing as. You're probably going to be rerolling ones to hit, rerolling your variable number of shots. I mean, it's insane.
They're so good.
Yeah, you just add 3. They're pretty much an auto include at their point value right now. But adding 10 points to them is makes a big change.
It makes it from an auto include to a very great choice. It's not like they're bad now. They're still insane value. It's
Yeah.
just they're not. It's like an apple pie that you just baked
Uh-huh.
versus the apple pie a space wolf just ate. It's worthless.
10 minutes.
See, well,
I
if
made
it
this
makes
one
you
now,
feel any
but I made
better,
this
they're
one 10
constantly
minutes
ragging
ago.
on space
It's
wolves.
warm.
We'll
but
just
it
sit
ain't
over here. We'll rag
right,
back.
right.
We'll team up. Like,
But no, seriously, the Bane Blades are. I think the Bane Blades are really in a really good spot to shine, because if you've noticed, most of these hits are at targeting knights. Last cannons dropped, knights themselves dropped. My neutron laser got dropped. Bane Blades got dropped. It just feels like GW is trying to make it much more accessible to most armies to hit the heavy hitters,
Yeah,
like
they
the
pop a
tanks
knight,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It is,
except for Drakari.
well, I do agree. I think it is really annoying to
Our
go
only
into
thing
a-
to face knights. When
Right. I think the only thing that I was a little bit annoyed about ITC is night lists seemed to always have more of an advantage, because most lists don't always take into account of vehicles over infantry. And if they do, if they go against an infantry army, they kind of do just get rolled on. Same thing
Yeah.
like with guard. Like, sure, if you're playing against guard and you have 9 Lehman Russes, you made a vehicle list to fight that. But at the same time, 9 Lehman Russes is still hard to fight against with an anti-vehicle army. But then they still have half their army that's infantry. What are you going to do against them?
You have to also understand, though, 9 Lehman Russes, Lehman Russ chassis by itself, the cheapest ones are, even the chassis itself is just 100 points. That's 900 points in just bodies before you even put on weapons and stuff. The average Lehman Russ is like 150 points or something like that, 200?
No, they're like 130.
130, 150?
Yeah, Lehman Russes are cheap.
most.
They were
Yeah.
like 130 before 15 point.
I wouldn't know. I play Creed.
They're
My
crazy.
tanks are 150.
They are crazy cheap.
Yeah.
I think it's like the
I
cheapest
get what Alex
TA.
is saying. Like, in ITC, you have to bring a list that can face up. You have to prepare for
Average.
multiple lists.
And then you go
But
against
then
the knight, yeah.
you'll hit like this solid tank list or solid vehicle super heavy list of the knights, and that can sometimes be actually really hard to face up against, especially if you tried to hedge your bets against both types of lists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you have to understand, though, if they're bringing 9 tank commanders, that then they have, 1,000, maybe 900 points to
Well, I'm
work
not just
with?
saying like tank commanders. I'm talking about just lists in general,
Right.
not.
But that's okay, though, because when you're playing Imperial Guard, you can work with 500 points with infantry and have out hundreds of bodies.
But the infantry, no, not
Oh, is it
100.
96 that
it's
one time
90,
that you
it's
brought?
90 points for a squad of 10, correct? Or is it 80 points?
It's 40 points for a squad of 10.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he brought 9 tanks, and then another 90 like infantry, I believe,
Nick,
versus me one time.
I've said it before.
Not counting
guard
commanders.
counters everything.
And a Bane
I've never been too worried about guard because I don't know. Personally, I don't struggle that hard against tank commanders personally because I have way more than enough to deal with them. And yeah, AdMech. But like, I have neuron lasers. I do have the plasma guns. I do have the new Scorpius tanks. I have so many answers to the.
All right, he's talking about AdMech again. Hey,
Yeah.
Maddie, talk about the Golden Boys.
Oh, that's fair.
the
Actually,
tables-
I have a quick question for you. How much is an intercessor right now?
Intercessor?
Yeah, just a regular intercessor.
17, I think.
I thought they were.
Awesome. You know how much a Death Company intercessor is going to cost you?
Shut up.
18 points.
Good lord.
For 1 point, you get a feel no pain and an extra attack.
Good lord.
It's alright. I've seen better.
I was asking about the Golden Boys,
1
not
point?
the vampires.
I'll take that any day.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
There is the Sanguinary Guard who are golden armored, so they are golden boys. Thank you very much. Speaking of Sanguinary Guard, Sanguinary Guard also went down.
Okay,
that?
he's
Blood
gonna.
Angels?
He's
What?
talking about Blood Angels.
Oh yeah, Blood Angels.
Let him talk about Blood Angels because
Yeah.
I do like Blood Angels. Blood Angels.
Sanguinary Guard went down. Their actual bodies went from no cost, but their special bolt guns went down 3 points. So the
Okay.
body itself went down 3 points. Reavers went down across the board, down to 16 points, which is pretty awesome for everybody.
I just don't think Reavers are good.
They're great in kill team, but no, I was talking about this earlier with Alex. I think they need to increase like their movement because they should be shock troops. They should be able to just move across
They
the board.
should have Vanguard deployment like
They
scouts.
should.
In my opinion.
Well, I mean, it just depends what army. Like for Blood Angels, Reavers I think are actually a viable unit, especially at 16 points per model with 2 wounds and 2 attacks base. And you can give them all kinds of buffs. They'll get +1 to wound on the charge. It's
But
pretty crazy.
they're competing with other units that can just do what they do, either just as good or better.
Of course, yeah.
I just don't think that they're good enough to be included anywhere. I think that they're great looking models.
Yeah.
I love the look of the Reavers.
Yeah.
But unless it's kill team, I don't use them.
Special characters for Blood Angels got some massive drops. So Mephiston just got a new model and
is gorgeous.
and a 15 point drop. So he's an auto include now on all your lists.
absolutely.
And then the biggest point drop in the army was the Sanguinor.
Who?
The Sanguinor.
What's that?
He's a special character for the Blood Angels. He is the leader of the Sanguinary Guard. He got a 50 point drop.
50.
He went from 180 to 130.
Yeah.
Plus, everything within 6 inches of him gets +1 attack.
That guy can roll many characters by himself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
In lore, he shows up at like the darkest
Yeah.
hour and just comes in and saves the day. Like no one knows if he's really real or not, and it's
just
kind of
be
like
doing things.
He's like their equivalent of
hold
like
on.
the Santa Claus.
yeah.
Why does this list have Reavers under Blood Angels as if they weren't an option for everyone else?
Well, it's just showing that's
I know.
a point
Just,
drop
just
there.
thought it was funny.
Also, another really cool thing is just regular Death Company got a 2 point drop, which is pretty awesome. So they're down to 15 points per model.
I like that.
So I'm definitely, I
I-
definitely want to see my list where I'm going to bring 6 maxed out squads of Death Company and regular and Primaris, and just punch some AdMech in the face from point blank.
Yay.
I want to see more Blood Angels. I think Blood Angels are
It's
so
all right
cool.
because we have the wings of Sanguinius, and we'll just charge you with no Overwatch into your Plasma Boys.
Ask
Oh,
me if I care.
that hurt.
Are you're insecure?
Alright.
The other reason I do understand why you weren't worried about the Imperial Guard to your army is because they innately are countered by your army. Because whenever you do when you have the robots and you do the mortal wounds,
I guess so.
they
but
can't
like,
kill you with quality shots because you have really good invulns, and they can't kill you with many shots because you ping back mortal wounds.
only on 6s and only when I'm in my
When 400 shots come out of you, there's a lot of 6s.
Yeah, I guess so, but like I don't know. I don't think AdMech are amazing. I think they're really, really good. Personally, the only reason why I play AdMech is because I want to play Dark AdMech at some point in my life. I just don't think Guard is as scary as Space Marines are. I really do truly think Space Marines, and pretty soon, like the beginning of 8th edition, Blood Angels are going to be really scary to fight. Because I remember at the beginning of 8th, I would be losing almost every game. Because Blood Angels would just push me, like, they would just destroy me. And I like to see, it's nice to see everyone moving away from gunline armies, more towards the melee-centric assault armies. Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I want that.
Yeah, I like the mixture.
Yeah.
It's nice not having to see Tau every day or Guardsman every day.
Well, Tau isn't really all that popular. It's just popular to play with just one specific type of Tau.
Exactly.
Like just a castle up, which is boring.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I watched a video the other day, and Tau were for 5 months in a row, about somewhere between 4th to the 6th most played army each month.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how consistent they stay. And people love Tau. And I don't blame them. The models kind of look cool. I don't blame them.
I hate their lore, but I love the look of their stuff. All right, Matt, do you want to talk about any other army, or should we give the table to our local elf boy?
I mean, Custodes got a good drop.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about your golden boys.
We're about to see waves of gold on tabletops.
Yeah. So first of all, and probably the most important is the tank, the grab tank. They increased its points last time, or in an FAQ. They increased its points because everybody was fielding 3 of them, and they're really powerful. And then they said in chapter approved that they made a mistake and just reduced its points right back down to what it was.
Mistake.
Yeah. They went ahead and decreased shield captains down by 10 points, which is pretty awesome. Trajan Valoris got a point drop. Ooh. And then across the board on everything, you got point drops on the axe by 3 points per axe, 3 points per spear, 5 points per storm shield, and then if you really, I don't really bring the Misericordias, but they all got a 1 point drop, which is pretty cool.
The scores are, I think, pretty good.
It's just an extra attack.
Yeah, but that's always good.
Yeah.
Especially
I don't know. I've seen 3 Custodes take out an entire group of boys, orc boys. Like, they could get it done.
Easy money. It happened to me.
But killing orc boys is not guard can kill orc boys.
It shouldn't be that
30
easy.
boys.
It shouldn't be that easy.
There was times I laid in 120 shots a turn into a squad of Custodes, and they still did not die.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Custodes are pretty gross.
And they came and nommed through my entire army.
They are. The bikes didn't see a change, thankfully, because if the bikes got a point drop, then Custodians would
we would
be
be saluting.
a top tier army.
It'd be Custodes winter all over again.
Exactly.
Remember when Grav tanks were strength 8 or strength 9?
Lord.
And they were just tearing up the field?
Well, they just, like I said, they just reduced the points back down on the grab tank again.
ITC.
That's okay because
It's amazing.
they nerfed the tanks though. They're like strength 7 now. They don't even.
I'm pretty sure they're still strength 8. It's just crazy.
I'm pretty sure they got a strength decrease and damage.
I thought they just had a
Nick,
point
how
bump.
often right are you?
Pretty often sometimes.
Uh-huh.
The winter has gotten
I'd have to
colder.
disagree, but okay.
Winter is coming. Just kidding. But yeah, so
HBO, if you want to give us a sponsorship, you can email us later. And
so Gene Stealers kind of got ripped on pretty hard. Gene Stealer Cult.
I'm not happy.
Let the
Yeah.
Gene Stealer cult boy talk about
Yeah,
it.
the aberrants went up.
Why?
It hurts.
Why? No one plays them.
hey, but your Lehman Russes are 50 points cheaper. Your Lehman Russes are 50 points cheaper.
Your mortars went up though, and Killer Morph needed it, and he got a point increase.
Okay.
What you're really
That's
saying
true.
is
I
he
agree.
feels my pain.
Okay, I agree. The Killer Morph was literally a 90-point model that they made 60 points because they wanted to, and they were like, "LOL, this is funny." And I was like, "No, this is not cool."
Good jokes.
Sure, like the statistics on me wounding people were around 10 wounds or 9 wounds with the shots. 9 or 10 every time. Sure, they'd save 8 of them for some reason. I mean, I just get unlucky. But on average, they shouldn't be saving only about 4 of those, 5 of those. And they should be taking around 8 damage or 6 damage for each shot from a Killer Morph.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that. Well, hold on. The mortars went up to 9 points. No, their mortars are actually cheaper.
No, they're 9
They
points.
don't. It doesn't
So
matter.
their mortars were more expensive than they were 7 points, whereas Imperial Guards were 5 points.
Yeah.
Now
That's crazy.
they're both up to 9.
That's
Yeah.
dumb.
No, they were just a worse version of the Imperial Guard.
Right. And if you look at the rest of your weapons, you're again with the theme of killing heavies. Your missile launcher decreased in price. Your heavy mine lasers went down in price. Your seismic cannons went down in price. I think that G Steelers are just a little more balanced now because
I think so too.
They were running pretty
Yeah.
rapidly on the tabletop.
It's a difficult army to play, and everybody could agree on that. It's a super gimmicky army, but if you know what you're doing, I've seen them take down like top tier armies easily.
The whole point of Genestealer cults is, in my opinion, is the hardest army to play.
Yeah, I could agree.
Well,
It's super hard to predict
It's
every scenario for Genestealer cults, and if you mess up one scenario or one stratagem, your entire ramp falls off, and you'll lose that entire game.
but that's your strength too. You're so flexible as an army that you have multiple answers for everything.
But the thing is, shouldn't you be rewarded for skill? And the whole point of Genestealer cults is skill and knowing when to take the risk to do something, right? But the thing is, like, a lot of armies now are just, I shoot, and I have so many good quality shots, and I'm just better. Whereas Genestealer cults promotes you being a good player. And that's why I like it. And it's really fun to play. And when I mess up, I see it.
Right.
Every single time. I can see me messing up the moment I do one wrong thing.
Right.
I know I lost the game.
Sure. Yeah, I understand that. I get that. But that's the problem with all melee armies. Like, I know Felipe likes to play Space Wolves a lot. And, Felipe, how hard do you feel like the game gets whenever you don't get into combat with stuff?
Well, so the big problem though, compared to like Blood Angels and things like that, is just that Space Wolves could absolutely demolish things really easily. I've seen my Wolfen take down Knights in one single round without any problems. I've killed Knight lists pretty easily. It's hard to get across the table.
Yeah, it's
for
hard to
my
get it
army.
there.
So-
It's hard.
Aren't they increasing the point of Thunderhammers though across the board? So even on
For
the
characters.
For characters.
For characters.
Not sergeants.
because I noticed here, like from what I was reading and everything on the on this, it shows decreases on the Wolfen, but it talks about specifically the Frost Claws and the Frost Axes.
Yeah. The Frost Axe is actually a relatively good weapon. It's a strength 8 -3 D3 damage weapon. So it's and then the Wolfen are already like strength
Frost
5.
Claws. Frost Claws got a 4-point drop themselves, and then also the axe itself got an 8-point.
No, again, it's all
It's
great
crazy.
stuff. It's all great stuff, but the problem though is just getting across the board. My best reliable way to move the Wolfen is just like the Storm Wolf, and then that thing goes pop easily. Like it's hard to play as Space Wolves.
Yeah.
It really is. I just don't have as many gimmicky things as other armies.
That's the huge crux of every single Imperium melee army.
Mhm.
They don't have a good way of getting up the board and being survivable.
Blood Angels did.
But Blood Angels, yeah. But
Blood Angels did. I don't have any units that can ignore Overwatch.
like Black Templars have, they don't really have survivability. They got like.
They have Land Raider Crusaders.
Oh, sure.
You just got a huge point
Yeah.
drop.
Okay, sure, yes, of course, but that's the thing now you have to play only tacticals, and they didn't give anything for intercessors, which just kind of sucks because actually, like,
Impulsors.
yeah, but the thing is they didn't really give like a huge thing to like, oh, veteran intercessors. Sure, you get impulsors, and I think that's like 200 points for the 5, it's 1 command point impulsor. I think that's around 200 something points.
Impulsor
which is not bad.
70.
70, and then the group of 5 with the Thunderhammer is around 120.
So, let's switch tracks because I think Willboy just found something out about his stuff.
Okay, so you guys know how I was complaining about the Ravengers going up 15 points earlier?
Mm-hmm.
I figured out why. Because Dark Lances across the board went down by 5 points.
There you go.
Oh,
So,
that's really good.
you know how I was saying about the anti-tank not being there for the Drakari? We might actually be able to bring a little something now.
So you got a 15-point increase and a 5-point decrease on Dark Lances.
which I can take 3 per Ravager, so
So
basically it's a net 0.
Yeah.
But then all your Syllabites and Kabbalite warriors taking the blaster and a dark lance with them.
I can
that's
do a
5
pretty
points
good
cheaper.
gun
Yeah.
squad inside of a raider.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
That's like they can get like 4 dark lances in one raider, I think, for 10 models. Or
4 long and short range because blasters are basically a short range
right
dark lance now.
yeah, which is
But-
great.
Yeah, it basically turns the dark lances into the same price as a blaster now? Question mark.
I think. Really
Blasters
good.
were dark
17
lances
points.
were blasters are 17. Dark lances were 20. So now they're 15. So they're cheaper
So they're
than the
cheaper
blaster.
than the blasters, and they're longer range. The only difference is assault to heavy,
Yeah,
which is not a big deal.
we now hit on 4s instead of 3s. If we're
Long
next to an
range.
Archon,
Twice the range.
yeah, like that's not bad at
That's
all.
a pretty good trade-off.
I mean,
It's a good trade off if you like raiders and you like running your group in like raiders and shooting everywhere, which I do. I like that strategy a lot. I think that's what Dark Eldar should have been from the beginning, but they had a lot of problems with that when I remember first playing. They had a lot of raiders were kind of busted, and they kept on like people doing like this weird strat with like they were just cheese people. But I was like, isn't that a part of the army? Like,
well, the big part of our army,
Shenanigans.
the big part of our army is our movement shenanigans. Like,
yeah. So
that is the big part where we move 16 inches, we move 18 inches, we move 32 if we advance on a
Right.
Tantalus. But real sad that the Tantalus did not get a drop.
I'm sad about that too. I love Tantalus. That's
Love the
my
model.
favorite.
Love the lore behind it, even though we're not a lore stream. But
It's cool. So cool.
just one of those
What kind of
things.
stream are we?
We're
Not a
the
stream at all.
shenanigan kind.
They're talking about the pointy ears.
Speaking of shenanigans, Harlequins.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Harlequins.
Buckle up, boys.
Harlequins.
This one's going to be a long one.
Harlequins.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, Harlequins just
So
got
anyways,
it good.
Felipe. Okay.
Let him talk. Let him
Rob.
talk. It's
They
okay.
don't stay on their bases.
Bruh.
Yeah, they don't stay on their bases very well, but they did get a 5-point decrease on all the bikes, which is insane.
Is that why they're cheaper quality? Because they got a 5-point decrease.
Exactly, because GW's like, they don't fit on their flight bases. We'll give you 5 points so you keep buying them. Got it, and I'll take it. So from 51 points with Zephyr Glades and Haywire to 46 points,
Pranksters.
whew, it's amazing.
Memes.
All the memes.
Finally, our version of the Venom, which is the exact same as the Venom, although it costs more points than a Venom, went down 19 points, so it's only 80 points now, which I believe is still more than a Venom.
Yes, it's 15 points more than a Venom.
Still, but it's better than being at 199 points per model, which was insane. Or not 190, sorry, 99 points per model, which was insane.
Felipe really going to the bathroom right now, guys.
It's okay. Another really cool thing is, along with the Star Weaver drop, all your troops got a 2-point per model drop, which is amazing. So going from 9 to 7 points per model, which just makes it even more affordable to get your weapons and fusion blaster upgrades. So you can get more transports and more fusion blasters and more bikes in a list. You can't complain with that.
That's fair.
And then
I mean, I
your-
can.
Oh no, you can't. And then
Really can't.
both of our HQ choices got a point drop.
That's
The Shadow Seer got a 15-point drop, which is amazing.
Awesome.
Because not only is the Shadow Seer amazing, it also gives -1 to wound on all troops that are within 6 inches.
You sound a little unenthusiastic.
No,
about
I like
this.
it. I'm
Okay.
I'm just thinking about all the great things that are gonna happen, and then I'm gonna see Guard, and I'm gonna cry every game.
And then Troop Masters also got a 10-point drop, which is insane as well because every army needs a whole bunch of Troop Masters running around giving reroll all
I
failed
agree.
wounds,
Yeah.
we need
which
more
is
of those.
amazing. So I'm super excited about all of that. It's making me like a very happy camper over here to have all these extra bonuses
He's
and
bouncing
benefits.
right now.
I am
He
bouncing.
really is.
I am so excited. I got to play last night not last night, Sunday night using the new rules. And I think I built the list Saturday, checked out the point drops on Sunday, and rewrote it with the point decrease. And I saved 287 points.
Did you win the game though?
No.
Yikes.
I still
Yeah,
have the
super
problem.
yikes.
I still have, even though I love my army, I still have the problem where I can't make 4+ invulnerable saves. So
Know the feeling.
I'm gonna die. You know, it's gonna happen. I'm not.
Imagine.
I can make 5+ all day, but 4+?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we should also Chaos Space Marines, eat your heart out. You also got points decreases.
Let's ignore that.
The Master with Cataphractii armor went down 31 points. Chaos Space Marines, you're doing really great. These Dark Angels drop points are just so good.
Okay, just
Like
I get it. We're beating
Primaris
that horse.
Chaplains,
You're
77
beating it.
points.
You're beating it. Just go
Yeah.
on. Go to orcs so I can talk about. Go to orcs so I can talk about orcs.
Alright. So orcs, they saw some changes too, right?
I don't get why.
All of the Orktober buggies all got drops, which is
Crazy.
pretty cool. Some of my favorites, which are the flashy boys, them fancy boys, Flash Gits, got huge points drops.
It's Orcsmus, boys.
6 point drop per model,
Okay.
which is insane.
How much were they to begin with?
They were 25 points per model.
Now they're 19.
Now they're
points.
19. Wow,
It's insane.
That's crazy. I said like all they need is 5 points in drop and they'd be good.
And they gave you
And
6
they gave
points.
6. And I was like, holy crap, 6 is just even better. That's like
Exactly.
an extra big shooter in each group.
Exactly, more shooters.
The great thing about it is now you can run relatively a big not a big track, battle wagon with 4 big shooters on it, with a group of 10 flash gets for 385 points.
Good
That's
lord.
a really good transport shooting wagon.
Yeah, it's a mobile
Shooting
of
wagon.
death is what it is.
It's scary. It's
In
very
other
scary.
words, we need a new dice rolling app from EGW.
yeah.
Oh no,
Come
it's
on, GW.
and they're like, oh, it's not that strong. No,
Shut up.
Trust me, it's so good.
It's only 12 shots, though. 4 big shooters is only 12 shots.
We're not talking about the big shoot. We're talking about the flash kits inside of it.
Yes.
Inside of it.
So
Yes.
first of all,
Flash kits.
you have to first of all you have to shoot through this massive battle wagon
Yep.
to get to them, and they don't have to worry about that because they're shooting at you from inside of it.
They hit on 4s.
Yeah.
Shoot 3 shots each. Strength 6 -2, 2 damage.
Yeah.
That's a really good stat line.
Strength 6 -2, 2 damage apiece. Oh my goodness, Space Marines are so good until Primaris are dropping left and
Boom,
right.
boom, boom, boom. It's happened. I've done it to Philip. He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Does
"These
it have
things
the
are
ram
busted."
check, or does that vehicle also have the ram
No,
check?
it doesn't.
It doesn't have
But the
ram
thing is,
shackle.
you can put them on trucks too.
Mhm.
But the thing is, you want a battle wagon because battle wagon's a lot more.
Well, the main reason you want a battle wagon is because it holds 20.
yeah,
And so you bring your squad of 10 flash gets with their 10 ammo runs.
yeah, and you get to reshoot all their shots.
You get to start reshooting all those shots right from within the battle wagon.
moment you get them, and then you have 2 squads of 5, so each squad has a different chance on a 1 in 6 chance to shoot again.
Exactly.
And then
And Daka Daka
and
Daka.
Daka Daka. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. And
Yeah.
then you can just do 2 command points, make Daka 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 on 5s.
No, you can't. I don't think you can
Yeah.
do. I don't think you can do the stratagem when they're inside the transport. Can you?
They're shooting.
Okay, maybe.
They're
We'll
shooting.
see. We'll see.
I don't know. They're
It
shooting.
might be. Either way, yeah. More Daka is pretty insane.
More
Ask your TOs if you can do that.
What? Yeah, ask your TO exactly. Yeah.
And if the bad, no, they can't be Batman. But still.
Warbike Knobs got a point drop, which is pretty awesome too.
Okay,
That's really good.
I did the math. So for a good points of Evil Sons, because they basically made Evil Sons super cheap now, and they were good. They were good models with the points they were, and I guess knobs on Warbikes did need a points decrease, but knobs on Warbikes with 2 choppas, 5 attacks, strength 5, T5, 3 wounds, 33 points per model. 99 points for 3. And then if you add that with 3 Boom Dakas,
The boom-
not Boomstick actually, the one with the flamers. It's
custom booster
the
blaster.
custom Booster Blaster.
Which got a 20
20
drop.
points. So you run 3 of those because they were already worth 100 points.
Yeah.
Now they're 80.
Yep.
So now you run 3 of those. You have 5 Death Copters, and you have 9 knobs on Warbikes, and that's 140 points saved.
So do you feel like you could play an entirely Evil Sons army?
Oh, I thought I could have before this.
And it just makes it more viable.
It's even better because each thing that you're adding to this, you're just getting it cheaper.
Yeah.
So where are you? What do you think about the reliance on boys now?
They're so good. You're supposed to run boys. Like I can run
I was gonna say
a group of And
Orc
Evil
army without
Sons-
boys.
Yeah,
That'll be the
no.
name.
Yeah, in Evil Sons, you still run 2 groups of 30 boys, and you still have a weird boy because the mobility's awesome. You just have really cheap HQs, and you kind of ignore the HQs, and you have a whole bunch of boomdakas. You have a whole bunch of scrap jets. You have a whole bunch of
Boys with shooters.
boys with shooters. Death copters are a must-have. If you haven't run death copters, run them with the copter rockets. On God, they're good. They're so good.
At the
Why? What
very
makes them
least,
good?
they're just
They're
annoying.
so good. Like I played against Death Watch and I went
Yeah.
even with orcs.
But what makes the rockets so good?
You get 2 shots in their assault.
But like, what's the stat lines?
They're strength 8. Strength 8,
-2.
minus
D6.
2, 3 damage.
Oh, flat 3.
Are
Flat
these
3
the ones
damage.
that can blow up on themselves?
No.
Okay.
But they can do mortal wounds if they fly over you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. I've always wanted to rebuild my orc army, and I'm actually about to get this large collection of orcs. It's not my original collection, which is kind of sad, but I don't think I'll ever get to see my original collection again because they belong to someone that I don't really talk to that much. And it's just really sad, but I've always wanted to see orcs be able to play with their big toys. Like, I've never talked to an orc player who's ever really wanted to play with a giant squigoth, or even a regular squigoth, or even a stompa,
I just want to
because
see a Stompa played.
they're just not viable. Even with
So
the 50
bad.
points drop, they're just not good.
It needs to be 300 points drop, and we'd be talking.
I still think
Drakari know your
Stompa's
feels.
not in regular ITC play or even just maybe for like a for fun game, but I mean they 50-point drop for Armageddon, sure, why not? Apocalypse, yeah.
Even then, I don't think.
I don't
so.
think we'll see it outside of APOC.
Just run
It's
more
just a-
scrap jets, maybe.
Just more, yeah.
More
It's just
scrap
a
jets.
big thing. It's kind of like the Storm
Scrap
Surge
Jet's
with
got
the
a drop
Tau.
too. 10
They're the
points.
best ones too. I think. The
But at least the
custom
Storm
boost blocks
Surge
are
is
the best,
playable. You can play with the
Yeah.
Storm Surge and not regret that much, but you regret putting a stomp on the board the second.
The second you put on the field.
The second you go to shoot with it, you're like, oh, this thing sucks.
How many points does it cost?
It's
A
a
thousand.
1,000
50.
points.
After weapons and everything, I think
Yeah.
it's like stock like 800 and some
It
change.
only has
after
40
weapons.
wounds.
So half your army if you were playing it in a.
Yeah.
It only has 40 wounds and it doesn't have an invuln. It only has a 3-up save.
Yeah,
Granted,
that's,
No,
You
it's
can-
garbage.
Granted,
No.
you can give it a 5-up invuln.
it suffers the same as
No,
Wraith Knight.
You can't.
You can't.
I thought if you put a big mech in there,
You can't. There's no transport. It's not a transport.
Not a transport.
So you can't put a big mech in it to give it a 5.
I think you're thinking the the
That's a
Gork.
Gork.
Gorkanauts you can do
Yeah.
that,
Gorkanauts are good.
Gorkanauts are good. And Morkanauts are
No,
good.
see, they should get a 30-point decrease in points.
That'd be nice.
I nod my head.
Yeah.
Just like- I saw an
Yeah.
ITC. Let's get second place with two Gorkanauts and 1 Morkanaut.
I still remember that game that we had where your Gorkanaut just died to Overwatch.
I was crying. I don't know
was
how
beautiful.
that happened. I'm crying that one. That was really sad.
That was beautiful.
That was really sad.
Good times, good times, good
That was
times.
depression.
But yeah, I do feel like while most armies did get ahead, I do feel bad for the orcs because I mean they're in a good spot competitively, but I just don't.
Good. Great.
I wouldn't say great. They're good.
I don't know. I think they're a very viable army.
I think they're the best army, only because
They're the best horde.
They're the most flexible
yeah.
army
It's a
because
it's the
all
best
their units
horde.
are innately good. The only reason I think that they're like slower or not as good as most top tier armies is because their HQs are awful.
Graskell
also-
Circa is great.
He's 240 points. He's useless.
He's great though.
He's not worth 240 points.
It also takes a good player to play orcs. Like I know that I rag on them a lot, but you have to be able to know what you're doing so that you can move all those models really fast during a
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
Like
Well, nowadays that's not a problem because we have the technology.
we now have the movement trays. Yes, it's a whole lot better, but you're still moving 3 to 4 times more than anybody else in
and
any
you have to,
tournament.
and you also have to think a lot too because you have a lot of shots. You have a lot of things. Everything needs to go to. Especially if you're playing like Evil Sons, which takes a lot of brain. It takes a lot of brain to play Evil Sons because all that movement would be crazy.
I also want to point out that it's probably the single most expensive army in terms of money.
those commandos be sweating.
mean-
They're more money than they're worth points.
How much is
Yeah.
10 boys? Like
10
money-wise?
boys?
Yeah.
$30.
$20.
$20.
I think it's 12,
25.
12 boys for $30, right?
Yeah.
No,
No,
20.
it's 11, and then you can make
A
like
knob.
so many off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's still they're your average price. The problem is you need. So most guard lists bring what 60 to 90 guardsmen,
About like that.
where
something
boys
like that.
list brings like
120?
120 to 180.
That's overkill. I think that's why people are. I mean, they have
But
to do
it's
that. now.
viable.
It's viable,
It's
but I think that's
super viable.
overkill because you only get to jump one group at a time.
Who cares? It's
Yeah.
the fact that you can shoot through 30 wounds. That is insane.
Even for me, like Deathwatch, sometimes I can't get through that many boys.
Well, and they don't suffer from morale. Like whenever
They
they're in a
do,
big,
but they have,
yeah, if you get them low enough.
You got to go 20.
you have
moves before
to
they
you have to
suffer.
get through 20 of the 30 boys in a single group to do
affect
anything.
anything. Sure, but I mean, I don't think that's that hard, in my opinion, because I played a list with 90 boys, and they get gunned down easily. And I mean, I guess
depends
there's
on
not
what
180, but still, 90 boys is still half the amount of 180. And if they get gunned down in one turn by Admech, I'm pretty sure spending 270 points for 30 models is not worth it when you can add other things to it.
Did you also forget you have the Green Tide?
Yeah,
That's
but you can only
great
use that for
frickin'
one model. It's like you have to get lucky enough to not get shot off the board to use that full strength.
I mean, you have to have a player smart enough to know, like, you got to get them either under
To
a certain,
gauge it, yeah.
some certain point or completely wipe out the squad.
Right, and that's the fear a lot of players have against orcs. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just shoot them all down. But then you're like, oh, which ones do I have to shoot off the board, or which ones do I have to actually kill? Or if you want to think like, oh, maybe this group I can just take it to like 10 strength, and this group to 5 strength, and basically when orcs are at 15 boys or less, they're kind of useless because they don't have enough shots.
I don't know. When I was
They
playing
still
orcs,
hit pretty hard in combat,
they
like
do, but
even in
like-
small groups.
They do, but like most armies can fall back for free.
So like when I played orcs,
So-
I usually played. But my favorite setup was, what's his name? Graskell Thraka, and a battle wagon with 10 knobs,
Okay.
all with various axes,
Axes, right.
powers, power claws, whatever.
Right.
And basically, the rest of your army can be evil sons, and while your evil sons is moving up across the board, you deep strike the big truck wherever you need it to be, and it's instant disintegration of whatever they touch. Because Graskell Thraka is ridiculous.
But how many points did you spend for that battle wagon, Thraka, the points with the knobs? Because
600
power claws
points.
are 12 points per.
I know
model.
that.
Big
I know
choppas
that.
are 7.
But the rest of the army is so cheap that 600 points for this big hitter.
Sure,
right.
noms are 70 points for 5. But then if you add a big choppa or a power claw to at least 2 power claws and 3 big choppas,
And then 7.
that's an extra 50 points though, and that's crazy.
I understand, but it was very effective, right? Like the thing I'm trying to get at is, I agree that orcs have some problems, but like, you have to also remember they're T5 if you're taking them as I don't even remember the.
They're not T5. They're always T4.
They're T5 if you take that one stratagem. What's it called?
There's no stratagem against
Yes,
T5.
they become T5. They're
No.
our boys are T5.
No,
Our boys.
no, it's armor. It's a save, not T5. They get added save.
No, yeah,
No,
I'm
they
pretty
become
sure
T5.
he's right.
Or they become Strength 5 or something like that.
They become Ard boys. Oh, okay. You can't do it for knobs. It's only for boys.
Is it only for boys?
And the thing
Oh.
is, it's not worth it because you can only do it for one group.
I still think it's pretty good though. Like, cause so what I'm trying to say is you have lots of flexibility in the cheapness of the list. Yeah, Graskell Thraka has 240 points, but like
Dumb.
the war trikes are so good. The war
Yeah.
trikes are great. All the
Oh, yeah.
buggies are great.
Of course.
The vehicles
Oh, yeah.
are great.
100%.
You can take 6 buggies for 600 points, and that's 600 points. Yeah, so
For a lot
that's
of for 8 wound models that do a lot of damage.
and
No,
they
I
have
agree,
12
yeah.
shots that hit on 4s. That's crazy.
it's
A
good.
strength 8 minus 3 damage or 2 damage.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think that's awesome though, but that's the part of the army that's good. Their vehicles, like they just got, are really good. The battle wagons, awesome. Death dreads, maybe if not that they're faster, but if they were more survivable.
Yeah, they're god awful.
Yeah, Killican, same thing.
And they're expensive.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even care if they were more survival if they were just like cheaper.
Like 60 points per of them, Death Dread, I think would be a good.
Right. If I could bring 5 of them for less than 300 points,
I-
and then right. I don't care if they're 7 wounds. whatever movement they are.
They die like paper. Like they're really easy to kill,
But they cost less than paper.
and they're literally like 6 movement,
Right.
6-inch movement.
They're
so
just
they don't
there
get
to
anywhere.
trick people, right? They're like,
Yeah,
Death Killer, Killer Cans or whatever.
And then you have to spend more money, and then you have to spend more points for another claw. 15 points for each claw is actually dumb.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
they need more claws to do damage because they have base 2 attacks.
I agree.
That's what?
Space Wolves get points dropped? I don't even know if I saw Space Wolves.
They got a lot.
They got a lot
we
too?
got a lot of stuff dropped. Like basically just about all storm shields are down to 5 points.
Which is really relevant.
all
Cross
HQs
table.
dropped. All
Everybody.
HQs dropped, which is very nice. Wolfen are down a few points.
The what?
Oh, Wolfen.
What?
The guys that just murder vehicles.
It's
without
just the
any
way you're
problems.
saying it. Wolfen.
Yeah, Wolfen.
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 The things that just will not die.
I agree. Turns out
The
they're
best unit in my codex, basically. Yeah, but all
3 up,
HQs
5
are down.
up, 2 wounds.
Basically Death Guard, but with a storm shield or
an ugly
and-
beard,
How many wounds did they have?
neck
2?
beard.
2 wounds
two
apiece
wounds a
right
pop.
now.
Nasty.
Yeah.
So if we see Primarius, maybe 3 wounds apiece.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
that'd be
cry.
nasty.
We all know it's gonna
What
happen.
if we're all wrong and it's not an additional wound? It's a multiplier, and Primaris just have double the wounds.
Just watch
Ooh.
chaos. Just watch those chaos.
4
Dark
wound
Angels.
Wolfen.
4
I'm
wound
down.
Wolfen, 3
I'm
up,
down.
5 up.
I'm gonna cringe.
With an
I'm
extra
cringing
attack.
right now.
Where
That
my
would be
persona
fun.
at?
That would-
No, but it's not lore related, so we can't have it.
It got
Shut
even
up.
colder. It got even colder.
I will never play against it because it's not lore.
I don't play good
Yeah. Anytime we
I'm
play
just
against
kidding.
Felipe, if it's a loreless, I just tell him I've won. Your army doesn't exist.
Minus
all my
500
stuff
points.
makes sense.
It's like they just don't exist, so I can't you
Well,
automatically.
hold on.
They don't exist too.
Phoenix, I'm gonna need you to,
redact
to
it.
redact the reference.
And that one too.
And that one too.
We don't want the Inquisition showing up.
The what?
Oh, they're here.
Oh, you see
Speaking
what-
of that,
see what
we didn't
happened
even.
was
How did we get through this podcast and not even talk about the new Sisters models? They are gorgeous.
They are beautiful.
I am so excited to see the Sisters range in plastic. They're gonna look so nice next to my Kriegs.
overhyped.
Yeah. It's been what?
Insecure.
It's only been 20 years in the making, but we finally got it, guys.
Oh no, some clock at GW just dropped off the wall. So restart the clock.
Years until plastic grotesque.
Ah, yes. Fine.
I don't think anyone. I think you're the only person that resets that clock. So you just stop talking about it.
Now there are plenty of people.
So-
you know who you are. Come out. Come on.
So we got.
Let's all do it.
We did finally. We got our first.
Kari shall rise again.
We got our first plastic aspect warriors. And I think that's next. I think next we're gonna get plastic aspect warriors.
Buff scorpions.
We're
Buff
gonna-
stinging scorpions.
We're gonna get warp spiders plastic. We're gonna get stinging striking
Eldar, yeah, the
scorpions.
Elder line
Shining
needs some
spears.
love.
Shining spears will finally get
oh my
some
God.
plastic riders, which would be nice.
Yeah, their spears are finally going
And
to
then
be
there'll be
straight
70
for once.
and then
or
there'll
at
be
least
70 points,
not as
$70.
crooked
Yeah,
whenever
right.
coming out of the box.
Yeah. So they'll go from $50 per 3 to $75 per 3.
Watch.
Makes
Of course.
sense.
Is the entire kit in plastic except for the spears?
Right now it's you get the jet bike. The jet bike's
No,
plastic.
so I bought those shining spears.
the
not
the
that long
guy,
ago.
the
Yeah.
whole guy
Yeah.
that sits in there with the spear arm is all
Resin.
Dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Dudes
hope they
all
make
of
it 3/4 plastic.
It is-
They release them with the rider in plastic, but not the spears.
No, it is the most annoying thing I've ever had to put together. I put 3 shining spears over the weekend together, and it's fine cast for the riders and then plastic for the actual bikes. So you have to switch back and forth between plastic
Yeah, it's
glue
pretty
and then
annoying.
super glue.
I agree.
And fine cast just has so many problems to begin with. So ugh.
Like existing,
I hate it for
honestly.
plastic. Dark Reapers. I put 5 Dark
Right.
Reapers together. I hated it so much.
You think GW would have learned from their Forge World counterpart how to make resin? Now,
Oh
like,
god, let's not get started on Forge World.
Whenever your Tantalus comes out of the thing looking like one of a weird sculpture because it's all twisted.
that's right. One of the Earthshaker cans I got from there was 3 different types of resin, and it was like, what? And
Did I buy a knockoff?
yeah, right. That's what I thought. I was like, nah, I brought this from Forge World, but it was
Recast.
3 colors.
What you don't know is Forge World is just recast. They get it from another company.
You know, if only Tantalus was 100 less points.
Right?
Then
I could take 50.
Anyways, guys, that's all we have for this week. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook under Tabletop Shenanigans. We also have a Patreon under the same name. If you just like us and want to support Matthew's habits,
Yeah.
his addiction,
We're gonna have
Addiction.
My addiction to this thing that we call plastic crack. We're gonna have 3 different levels for anybody that feels the need to give us some love. We definitely would appreciate it, so we could afford to continue to do this, and then also to start producing some battle reports for y'all. But we're gonna do 3 different levels right now to start out. Just $1, $2, and $5. Whatever you feel like you want to give, we definitely would appreciate everything. We'll start shouting out people that are giving us some money.
and hopefully eventually we will have real tiers of support. You can get a T-shirt of Matt's face.
Yeah, I'll give you the double thumbs up smiley face.
You have a
it
picture.
was already voted I was the cutest in the group. So
Whoa, when did that happen?
I mean, I just deemed it myself after the first
subscribers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Subscribers, if you want to vote on who the cutest one is, I'll pay you all off. Just come at me later. Yeah.
I'll pay you double to vote for Felipe.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And then you can take the money we pay you to put it back into our podcast.
See, my vote goes into Felipe.
All right, everyone. It was nice talking to y'all. We'll see you next week here on Tabletop Shenanigans.
Bye.